Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Hey, glad to have y'all in with us this afternoon. Uh, I don't know about where y'all at, but it's a little cool here, and I'm in South Alabama, so I know probably if you're anywhere north of here, it probably gets probably cooler than what it is. I don't know about where Joey's at, but it's always cooler there than where I'm at. So we're so glad to have y'all tuned in here. I do want to give y'all maybe a little update. This may be the last program we do until after the first of the year. We got Christmas coming up. We got New Year's coming up. So I got a couple of things tonight that I'm going to do. But I also have a Mr. Charles Crook from Meat Hunter Rods had just called me, and we're going to give away one, if not two, of the Meat Hunter Rods tonight. So y'all stay tuned in here with us. Robin East, Trent Williams. Trent Williams is Mr. SmackDown Daddy is in the house.
He's SmackDown ready, isn't he?
Hey, listen, he is it. I'm telling you, man. I know the chat's flying by so fast, it's hard for me to keep up with it. Larry Gross is in. Larry's been following us for a long time. Thank you, Larry. Kevin Keegan. And Kevin, man, he went out there to Grand Lake, and I don't forgot what he placed, but it was up there pretty high. And congratulations, Kevin.
I think he told me fourth, Stacy.
I think it was up there somewhere around that right there place.
He wasn't playing no games, was he?
He done got down in there amongst them. And I'm gonna tell you, Kevin done really well. Aaron Churchwell and Daniel Matta done really well out there. They made a big comeback in the last day, and so I just want to say congratulations to y'all guys, and I want to thank Kevin's wife got a female angler of that tournament right there.
Yes, sir.
So, hey, congratulations to y'all. Hey, Miss Lindsay Knight, good to have you here. Tell your boy Sawyer I said hi. Maybe he's tuned in watching us here this afternoon. We're going to get into a couple things, so if you have some special topic that you would like to talk about, get any questions, be free to pop them into chat. We'll try our best to answer them to the very best of our knowledge. Hey, and I want to tell y'all, you go ahead and get your phones and get them on alert. We got about a 4-day fishing trip coming up. Joey, I may go by and get me a couple bottles in 5-hour energy and be prepared for it, man. The anticipation. Hopefully we're gonna try to. I know the last couple of times we was out, we try to do some YouTube stuff on that, but we're gonna try to do a lot more live stuff, and hopefully we can get on some good fish while doing this. So, Joey, welcome, man, and what you got to say for yourself here this afternoon?
Not much. I got my new SmackDown hoodie in, and all of y'all that have been debating on whether or not to get them things right there are the cat's meow. I made a post today, and there's no shame in my game. Stacy, I might not be able to catch many fish, but out there fishing, I'm going to look good.
Hey, Joey. You know what I've always said? The least we can do is look the part.
Hey, and sometimes for a Kentucky boy, that's hard to do.
And I want to say this because I try my best to make sure that whatever products we put out there is not just some fly-by-night stuff. We try to make sure we put in the very best quality products that we can out there, whether it be I'm picky about what I wear, and I'm not going to be out here selling stuff that I wouldn't wear. So that goes from my hats, which is Richardson 112s, to the hoodies. They're polyester with a sort of like a fleece type lining inside of them, and top-notch stuff. Hey, I want to get into. Go ahead, Joey.
These has got like the dry fit. All of y'all that wear the dry fit material, these are made like those, but they do have they are warm.
Yeah.
They are warm, and they're dry fit material, silky type material, like a lot of the jerseys nowadays are made of, and they're sharp. Adam Isaacs, hopefully, good Lord willing, they'll get some slime on it here pretty soon. But I'm not gonna get it too slimed up. I'll take it off. I'll take it off before I get it ruined.
Oh
Yeah.
no, we're gonna slime it up, baby. Hey, Daniel Matters tuned in with us this afternoon. He was a partner with Aaron Churchwell out there on the Grand Lake, and congratulations, Daniel.
Stacy,
Hey,
when him and Churchwell team up, they could catch fish in the Walmart parking lot. You know what?
Listen, just give them a day or two, they'll figure them out, won't they?
If Aaron Churchwell was on here, I wouldn't have said that. But if Daniel's on here, I'll say it. I think it's probably more so Daniel that's the luck of the two. But they can catch. They get together. They can catch fish in Walmart parking lot.
I've always told Aaron, and I'm cautious about it because I keep up with him, and I'm telling you, them guys right there are some great fishermen, man.
They are.
I had a question this week that was asked to me, and it was really hard for me to just. I'm not very good at texting, so a lot of times if you text me something, and if I have to go into a conversation to answer it, most of the time I just give a little short, brief thing, and I can't cover much. And I had a guy, I think it was Jason Bell, that had asked me about dragging planer boards. Do I use the same size weight on the planer board as I use when I'm not using a planer board? He asked that question, and I think I know what he was asking is because let me say this. I use the same weight whether I'm pulling right behind the boat without a planer board or whether I am pulling a planer board. But I have noticed this, and I changed some stuff up a couple of years ago. Michael Smith, which runs a guide service out there on Tawakoni out there in Texas, he was sharing some stuff with me about pulling planer boards, which made good sense. And if you want that planer board to pull out better than what it's maybe doing right now, I would say first of all you're gonna need all planer boards are not the same. And there's a lot of good quality planer boards out there that will pull out, and they will pull out a long way. And they are made to pull a lot of heavy weight and big baits. Some planer boards are smaller and they do sort of bog down in the water. But what he did share with me, this is Michael Smith out there in Texas, that when I let my line down now, say if we're in 50 foot of water and I'm going to hook it to a planer board, I'm going to let my line down. I want it to hit bottom, and I'm not going to let a bunch more line out. I'm going to let 10 or 15 more foot of line out, and I'm going to clip it to my planer board. In other words, if the water depth is 50 foot, I may have 65 foot of line out, just enough to make sure if we go into a contour that drops 5 or 6, 10 to 15 foot, I can still contact bottom. What I don't want to do, though, is have it being 50 foot of water and have a 125 foot of line out that I'm dragging so much line out behind this. I have noticed that it does not want to pull out quite as good. I don't know if the drag or what it does. I don't know what the reason is, but the shorter that line right there seems like the better that board is going to pull out to the side. Another thing that I do is I stick that rod that's going to pull that planer board out to the very side. I stick that rod in my rod. One of them degrees in my rod holders is like 55, 60 degrees, and it's sticking pretty far up there. And that's to get my line out of the water that's going from the tip of my rod to the planer board, so it don't produce drag trying to pull my planer board back in. And that's why it's just getting that planer board out as far as I can possibly get it. If Joey's fishing, he'd be fishing with me this week. I run 2 pointer boards on my side, and I'm gonna get them out there, and I'm gonna divide that and trying to cover a lot of ground. And that's one of the keys to trying to pull pointer boards is just the mindset is just, hey, we want to make sure we're covering a lot of area as we pull up through here. Go ahead, Joey.
Somebody was talking about they was just now getting in the planer boards and stuff like that. Probably my biggest suggestion is get your boat control going first. First and foremost, get your drift line start 50 yards or so back from where you're wanting to drag and get your boat going first. You want your boat going first. You want it going north or whatever pattern you're going. You want it going first before you start, because what you're going to do is you're going to throw one straight out back, and then before you know it, time you get your stuff ready, it's going to be to the side or something. So before you even get started, you're going to be dragging a mess and you don't even know it. So you could be dragging an hour and a half, 2 hours, and reel them in, and they're all wadded up, and it looks like a cast net or something on the back of you. And then I've done that before too. So yeah, a lot of times get going first before you start. And I'll normally, like Stacy, we'll throw our first ones. Usually we'll throw our planer boards out first, or rods out first, and throw it out way out to the side, and then click that way you can just start going back and just so you really don't want to make sure you don't get them wadded up.
Yeah, just work from the outside and back in, and you shouldn't have no problem. And like Joey said, we always, when we get ready to get started, we sit up and get the boat moving before we ever even start putting lines out. And our boat's moving, already started moving to where we're going to be dragging as we start to put stuff out. So as we put it out, it's going into place as we're getting ready to get started fishing. Guys, I will tell you this, it can be frustrating if you're just new to it. Don't get overwhelmed by it. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't try to start with 2 pointer boards on each side. Just put your one on each side till you get used to it and you see how they're going to work. And it won't take you, I promise it.
Yeah.
It won't take you long that you'll be able to learn the technique, and for long you'll have it mastered.
And also, for some of y'all that's first trying it, try an area that you fish just a little bit where you know you're not going to get hung up because if you're going to get frustrated, the rest of it is just a little patience. But the frustration is when you drag across one of them old trot lines or something, and your 2 or 3 or 4 planer boards are hung, and you got 2 back. When it all gets hung up, that's the only time. And probably be prepared. Go ahead and have your stuff, your net out and stuff like that ready, and know that you're probably more than likely going to have to unclip that board and stuff. So it's just like Stacy said, it's trial and error, and the main thing is that boat control. Get your boat going first, and then start spreading them out.
And that was one of the things when Kevin Keegan went off and fished. Me and him fished together, and he had noticed, and me and him had talked. It is critical that you learn to control your boat, and stay. I mean, you got to stay paying attention to what you're doing. And like Joey said, is if you just gonna get out here and try to learn how you never done it, get out there in the middle of the lake where there ain't no limbs and tops and stuff like that, and at least get it down where you know actually what you're doing, because the biggest thing that's gonna frustrate you is to get about the time you get your 4th rod put out, and all of a sudden 3 of them are doubled over because they hung to a treetop.
That's right.
I'm telling you, it can be a nightmare.
Hey, Stacy, and also let me add this. Some of them that are kind of hesitant to doing it, there's, like Stacy said, there's so many different kinds of planer boards, and Stacy and I both, we've got 2 or 3 different kinds of styles that we use. Find what your preference is, but sometimes when he and I are fishing, if we catch 10 fish, sometimes 8 of them might be on them planer boards. So some of y'all that are hesitant about trying them, definitely try them, because I don't know if the rhyme or reason why, but sometimes almost every fish you catch is going to be on them planer boards.
I'm going to say this, Joey. If you're dragging baits, uh, if you're dragging baits and if you don't have planer boards, you're missing out. Um, I've seen it many times. It's not all the time. I'm not saying it's a 100% thing, but I've seen where we have been fishing, and for some, like you said, some rhyme or reason, everything is coming off of them planer boards that are way on the outside. One of the things that I have noticed, uh, and it's not always like this, but in some shallow water, I don't know if the boat's running over these fish and spooking them or what, or and run them to the outside, or they just shutting down and only one on the outside's biting. But it's been days. I'm like, man, the planer boards are on fire, and if we wouldn't have had the rods we had behind the boat, I mean, they ain't doing nothing. And then
Right.
in them days, we'd have said, well, they just ain't biting today with them fishes are way over to the side of the boat. But if you wouldn't have had the planer boards, you wouldn't have knew that, you know?
Stacey, let me add this too before I forget. And I'll probably more direct it more so to you. Some of y'all that drag baits and stuff, that still water or small current is ideal for dragging baits, pulling boards. Now, all of y'all that fish up here toward me in the Ohio River and stuff, the current can't be, to me. What's the fastest current that you would drag in, Stacey? You think?
Well, this is I look at my trolling motor, and if my trolling motor is I've got a 70-pound thrust Minn Kota, and if it has to run up on on the digits, it goes from 1 all the way to 10. And if I have to run it up there around 5 or 6, the current's just a little bit too much for me. I don't know how fast the current would be moving, but my trolling motor's having to run on 5 or 6 to keep me going forward at the speed I want to go. Yeah. And also by doing that, you're going to notice if you ain't got so much weight on, it's going to want to start to put that current with your boat going against it. It's going to want to start to pull your lines up off the bottom. Right. You're going to lose contact. And so when my trolling motor's running up on 5 or 6, I'm changing from this and I'm going to anchor.
It's almost, I would say here, probably, in my opinion, this is me. Some people may do it some people may do it different, and like I said, I don't know near as much as a lot of good fishermen. I don't. But if the current here is probably going more than a half mile an hour, 3/4 of a mile an hour, I really don't even think about it. So that may, if you are trying to get out there and get a little experience, make sure you're trying to do it in some still water or just a little bit of current. Because I don't know how well it will work. And also, as far as the weights, I know Stacey and I do the same preference. Probably most of the time he and I use 4 ounce. Now we may use something a little bit smaller, but most of the time it's 4 ounce. Try to just use the lightest weight that you can to keep everything on the bottom. And that seems to give it a little more presentation instead of just absolutely holding it. You don't want to use an 8 or 10 ounce weight when you're dragging in zero kind of current or nothing like that, because it will keep it completely held to the bottom. You want it the lightest weight that you can use to keep everything down.
Yeah. If you go with too heavy a weight, it has a tendency to get hung in between them rocks and stuff a little bit better. Hey, Joey, let's go ahead. I am going to give away one of these tonight. Compliments of Rocco's. Troy Smith from Rocco's Grocery out here on 106. is going to we're going to give away one of these SmackDown Catfishing hats, and also going to give away another one of these a little bit later, and we're going to give away some Dale's Tackle stuff. So let's do a couple of giveaways here while we're right here.
Well, good deal. And by the way, Dale's, y'all stay tuned in on Dale's Tackle Facebook page. Tomorrow, I think, Stacy, is it tomorrow? I'm thinking it's tomorrow. He's supposed to start a Christmas sale, and you're not going to miss it, especially if you use the Dale's Tackle hooks, swivels, rattles, anything Dale's Tackle that you use. If you're going to order tonight, don't tell him I told you this. If you're going to order tonight, wait till tomorrow. It's going to be a good sale. Also, he's got the new pliers, fish grips in. I used them last week. They're awesome. They work great. It's no gimmicks. I won't fib to you just to try to sell something for him. They work awesome. I think they're 10 inches. And he's also got just a few pairs of those Dale's Tackle pliers left also. So y'all stay tuned in for that, and appreciate you, Dale, for the generosity for the people in chat.
All right, here is the winner of the SmackDown hat, Chad Vice. Chad, if you would contact me on SmackDown Catfishing on my Facebook page. If you're watching it here on Facebook, go to your messenger, just contact me there. Let me know that you're the winner of the SmackDown hat. Put your address there. We'll make sure we get that to you. While we're here, let's go ahead at this time and let's give away a Dale's Tackle fish grip. These are the heavy-duty ones that he has. I done forgot what the message was that he sent me this afternoon, but let me go ahead and read this to y'all so we don't miss this. The pliers and the fish grips, only 25 pair of pliers are left in stock. Tomorrow is a big sale. Buy 3 Dale's Tackle products, get the 4th of the same package free. So y'all just hang on, wait till tomorrow. Make sure you go in there and order 3 pack of Dale's Tackle hooks, and you're going to get a 4th pack free. So this right here also goes for all Dale's Tackle products. So guys, this right here starts tomorrow, and I want to just thank Dale. Let's give away a pair of these fish grips right here, and give me just a second.
Yeah, thank you too. Thank you, Troy. Appreciate you, buddy.
All right.
Home of the $1.39 pound ribeye USDA Black Angus grain-fed $1.39 pound T-bone steaks.
It's a wonder him and Chad ain't on here tonight starting trouble.
Hey, I told Doug today, got on my nerves a little bit, Stacy, and I told him, if you come in tonight on chat running your mouth, we're going to block you. You know what he said? Hey, he said, I can't even make top fan status. Go ahead and block me.
All right. Hey, this is the winner of the Dale's Tackle fish grips. Here we go. Dale's Tackle fish grip is going to be Ricky Stacy. Ricky, contact me or Joey, either one. Give us your name, your address. Just put in there that you won the fish grips, and we're going to make sure we get this right here to Dale. Has anybody got anything else they want to say on anything else?
We got Chad Toby tuned in. I've seen where his boat's all. He's doing some construction on his boat. Stacy, yeah, we got a guy here, Stacy. If you want to touch on it a minute, I know you and I don't like to miss any questions, but early in the chat, Randy McMillan asked, "Can you guys tell me more about precision anchoring?"
Yeah, let me do this right here. To me, to precision anchor is you're going to need some good electronics and know a little bit about how to use them. This is what I do when I'm anchoring and I'm precision anchoring. In other words, I've spotted something that I want to fish on, that I want to be able to put my bait within, just trying to get it really close to this location that I'm looking for, whether it be a top or whether we see a ledge that's holding fish. When you go over them fish, now you can take your, I think on the Humminbird it calls it a cursor. You can move it around, you're gonna see a little dot start to move. And you can move that dot right on top of a piece of, when you're side imaging or you're down imaging or your sonar, you can move that image right on top of what you're wanting to anchor on and hit mark. And that right there is going to put a mark on that top. In other words, it's going to let you know right where that top is at. When you go back to your map, you'll be able to see your boat on the map, and you ought to be able to see that dot on the map. You will know where your boat is at in location to that dot, which if it's a treetop, you have it marked. Get your boat lined straight up with it. Have your cursor still on that dot. It's going to look at the top of your unit, and it's going to tell you how far your boat is from that mark that you've got, whether it be 100 foot, 50 foot, or 200 foot. You will know just how far it is. A lot of times what I do is I try to get lined straight up with it. I pull up about 200 feet from it, and when I get to about 150 foot, I might throw the anchor down. And once it catches, I'm going to try to let out enough rope that's going to get me somewhere around that 100 foot, 130 foot range. You can cast your rod and reel 130 foot with no problem. And once I get about that 130 foot range, I'm gonna lock the rope down, and I know that top is within 100 or 130 foot of the back of my boat. And so I'm going to go to throwing at that target, and I know that I'm gonna have 5 or 6 rods out. I don't have line counters on mine, but if you had a line counter on your reel, you could just dial it in and say, when it says 130 foot, you would know that your line is right there where he's at. I'm just throwing all around him, and I know that I'm pretty close because I get hung up in the top. But that's what I do when I'm precision anchoring. If I've seen that top, I'm like, hey, we're 130 foot from it. Stop the boat right here, and we're going to be right on top of this fish, right on top of this top, right on top of these fish. So that's why you know you're not throwing your line way over the fish, or you ain't done drifted back over the top of him. You knew where they was at, you had them marked, and you're in the vicinity of where they at.
Agree. Yep. Stacy, for those that don't, just a quick 3-minute tip for y'all. For y'all that don't, that's not into those electronics. I've fished for years. I call it the redneck Kentucky style. So if I'm close to the bank, if I'm going down and I mark some fish, I'll look over to the bank and I'll find me a landmark, whether it be a log, a stick, a certain tree or something, and then I'll visualize where I want the back of my boat to be for me to throw and hit that. And then I will look for another landmark, and I'll say, okay, I want to let enough rope out for the back of my boat to be at this landmark because these fish are back here by this stump that I see over here on the bank or something. Also, some of y'all people that fish the Green River or these rivers, small rivers, look for them big cutouts in the bank, because odds are that's where a big old tree has fell down in that, especially them tree line banks. That's a pretty good tip for precision anchoring and some structure as well. But use your landmarks. Like Stacy said, that's what I do nowadays, what he just explained. But back prior, when I had my older Lowrance stuff, I didn't use mapping or none of that. So if you're old school like that, look at the bank and say, right here's where I want to fish. So I want the back of the boat here. That worked for me just as good as what I do now back whenever I fished without, many electronics.
Hey, let's go ahead. I'm going to give away another hat. I'm going to give away a line cutter that goes with this hat right here, and may throw something else in. And this right here is compliments of Chad Bryant. If you're in the food business, own a restaurant, y'all contact this guy. He can set you up with the food right here.
And Stacy's always got to get on chat and talk about eating steaks and all this stuff. I seen y'all sent me a picture of them steaks at Rocco's that he cooked y'all, and I'm telling y'all, people that didn't get to see them, they was that thick, and they was about medium wet. They was pinkish in the middle, and man, they sent that to me, and I guarantee it, I could have licked my nose.
Wait, Troy had them done up right, man. Hey, here's let's give this right here away. The winner of the hat, and we got some line cutter we're going to put in there with that. Let me get this. Here it comes. Larry Gross. Hey, Larry, contact me. Send me a message. Send me your address. We're going to make sure this right here gets to you. And I want to say thank you to Chad Bryant. We got two more things. Let me go ahead and do this right here. I've got one more thing. We're going to go ahead while we're here and give away a Dale's tackle pliers. So give me just a second.
Stacey, I think Larry Gross on up in the chat somewhere asked a question. Let me go back up there. Stacey, I do know Robert Thomas asked, do you like anchoring up or spot locking best?
I like to anchor. And I'm gonna say this because my trolling motor is I'm not saying I would love to spot lock, but my trolling motor would not hold me without moving. Seems like my trolling motor will move 10 or 15 foot before it starts to recalculate to pull me back up. So I move back and forth too much, and it throws me off way too much. If my spot lock would hold me right on the spot, I was just spot lock. I don't see no difference. But that when I lock that SmackDown anchor in, we don't move, and it may move from side to side, but my spot lock is not accurate. It drifts me off, and not just a couple of feet. Sometimes it seems like we move 15 to 20 foot in one direction, and when it starts to go again, we're going the other way. I'm like, what's going on?
I'm all for Stacy updating that trolling motor so we don't have to throw that anchor. But I'm like Stacy. If I'm fishing in some water that don't have a lot of current and stuff, I like spot lock. But if I'm fishing in something like one little over 1 mile an hour or something, and I know I'm going to sit there a while, I throw my anchor as well. Steve Stacy's in here, and I'm going to answer this one for you real quick, Steve. He said he's going to Alabama in January, Stacy. What would you suggest for an out-of-towner? I'm going to tell you this, Steve. Here's my answer, because you're up here toward me. Don't be scared to drag baits and pull boards and all that stuff in January in Alabama. Prior to fishing with Stacy a lot, cold water, 100% for me was on the anchor, setting still. But as I've fished in Alabama the last couple years and stuff, don't be scared to do what you would do in July, just a little slower.
Yeah, I drag baits year round up there on Wheeler. I just slow down to 0.3 miles an hour. Everybody's got their preference. There's just some things I'm really stuck on, and when it gets really cold, 0.3 miles an hour is what I'm doing. I'm not going no faster. I'm just creeping along. And hey, I've caught some good fish in the wintertime, pulling boards. I mean, some really good ones. Well, one of my best days up there in the wintertime, dragging baits, and one afternoon just tearing them up. So I would not be afraid to do that right there. And I would say this, and I'm not, when you get up there in January, things change. Man, them fish sometimes. Some people say they're in deep water. Some people say they're in shallow water. I'm saying I don't know where they at that time. You just got to get there and try to figure it out, because just because it's cold don't mean that they're deep water. They could be up there in shallow water, I think, just according to what the conditions present to you. So don't be afraid to go drag baits in 20 foot of water when it's cold.
Stacy, also
They may be there.
somebody asked, what's cold water in Alabama? Somebody, I can't remember who. Russell.
Mike Russell.
I think Mike Russell said, "What's cold water in Alabama?" So
I don't think. I'm trying to think. I can't hardly remember what I done yesterday, Mike. But in the high 40s, mid 40s, I would say it's done got down to where it's pretty cold. I can remember seeing 48, 47, 46 or something like that. I'm not seeing much colder than that, and even when it gets down like that, when I'm anchored fishing, man, it becomes really slow for me. And I still catch fish. I anchor and I sit there. I'm gonna sit longer than I would if the water was 75 degrees. I may sit there an hour, I may sit there an hour and a half, and just take your time. But that's what I'd say in the mid 40s is what's really cold here. I don't think I've been out there and seen it much where the water temperature was much colder than 48, 47, 46, somewhere over there.
I don't know where Kevin Walters is fishing, but he said he pulled boards today and caught some good ones. And the water temperature where he was pulling them boards today was 44.3. So
44, yeah. So hey, guys, I'm telling you, don't knock it until you tried it, because you're gonna and this is one thing I go back to. That fish, and I know it's different things for different times and seasons and pressure and changes and weather changes. Guys, if that fish eats, he got to chase down what he eats. I mean, it's floating by him, it's moving, it's trying to get away from him. So he's used to having to try to go get something. And surely at 0.3 miles an hour, he can come out there and get a hold to it. So, hey, here's the winner of the Dale's Tackle Pliers. Dale's Tackle Pliers, Adam Lee Dross. Adam, contact us. Let us know you won the pliers. Give us your address, and we'll make sure this gets to Dale. We're going to do one more giveaway right before we close. This is going to be a meat hunter rod. I want y'all to do this here for me if you in the chat. If you still in here, we're fixing to get ready to give this away, and we're going to get ready to close down. I want y'all to stay tuned in with us this week. Hopefully we get to do some live stuff, and we're going to try to do some Facebook Live this week. So put us on alert, and maybe we can see some big fish. Maybe we can pull some big ones over the side of the boat. Joey, you got anything left before we get out of here this afternoon?
Well, Stacy, I've got my phone's blowing up with people wanting to give away gift certificates, and they're Mr. RT would like to give away two $100 gift certificates to Dale's Tackle. So
now, who is this? You ain't got to share it. You ain't got to share it. All right. I got you. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So, and also there's Stacy.
Hey, hold on before you go any further. Hey, it's Christmas time, baby, and it's time to we're gonna give some stuff away. So we're gonna give away two $100 gift certificates to Dale's Tackle. Is that right?
two. Wait,
if you ain't tuned in, you need to be.
Listen here, fellas. Put the SmackDown Catfishing in the messenger in the chat right now, and if you don't mind, share this to get a few people in here so we can give some stuff away. We're going to give away 2 $100 gift certificates to Dale's Tackle, and we're also going to give Stacy, another fella, has donated a $25 gift card on Dale's Tackle products tonight. So whoever wins that $25 one will will use it, redeem it tonight. Now it just pops up on my phone, Stacy, of people. You know how it is, man. If you checked your phone, they'd be on your phone. There's so many people that are so generous, and it's pretty cool, actually. We don't ask anybody for nothing. It's people that like the interaction. As everybody knows, most of them tune in for Stacy's message at the end. That's no secret. I hear it all the time, and it's pretty cool.
Hey.
But Stacy and I, we never thought it would get like this. So
hey, well let's go ahead. So you got the names of the folks who got the card, the gift stuff they want to give away.
I do.
Let's go ahead right now and give me just a second to get this. Y'all stay tuned. We're going to give this rod away last. So don't you go nowhere. We got 4 things we fist to give away, and we're fist to do them right now, right back to back. So,
Stacy, let me add this really, really quick. Dale ships a lot of his stuff USPS, which some of y'all that don't deal in that's like your regular mail. Some of this stuff, it's usually to you in 2 days. Some of this stuff is taking 2 and 3 weeks to get. That's not Dale's fault. It's beyond it, but it's just happening. I sent something out that was supposed to have been there last Tuesday, and they got it Monday. So bear with us. We can't promise you it'll be there overnight or in a day or two, but it will be shipped out immediately. But it may take a while to get to you, and it's beyond Dale or anybody that's ordering anything from anywhere. Be expecting that, especially if you're getting it USPS. So don't start asking.
Here is the first $100 gift card. It's going to be redeemable at Dale's Tackle. Jason Moses. Congratulations, Jason.
Congratulations. And appreciate you tuning in, Jason. I don't know you, but we appreciate you for tuning in. And all of these ones are just random people they're putting SDC in the chat. That's how these drawings are done.
Give me a second.
And Dale needs to be tuned in so he can write down these winners' names, Stacy.
I'm keeping them all up over here, or trying my best to. I
know none of this was planned. You know, we had a couple small Dale's things to give away tonight, and Charles with Meat Hunter Rods got with Stacy to donate a rod, and my phone started blowing up, and I looked down, and there's people wanting to just give the house away.
Yeah, wait, man, it's Christmas time, man. Hey, here's the next $100 giveaway. The winner of it is going to be Richard Hagan. Richard, contact us. You got the $100 giveaway there to Dale's Tackle. Let's go ahead and do that $25 giveaway.
That's a new fellow, Mr. Steve. I'll just say we appreciate you, buddy. I think Dale said whoever wins this one, redeem it tonight, I guess. That's what kind of the message said. But you can just be like me and don't listen to what Dale says. Use it tomorrow when he's having the sale. Just don't even pay no. I'll call KK later on and tell her to take care of Dale, smack him upside his head. Use it tomorrow when there's a sale.
All right, here's the $25 gift card giveaway to Dale's Tackle. All these gifts right here, these gift cards, these $100 gift cards with the Dale's Tackle. This $25 gift card is to Dale's Tackle. And here is the winner of it. Mike Russell. So Mike, contact Dale. You can redeem that right there with him. If you have problems getting in touch with him, we'll get you in touch with him. But you can find him on Facebook up under Dale's Tackle. Let's do this right here, and I'm fixing to close. But I want to do one thing, so I'm going to give y'all one more chance to get your SDC in the chat before we do this right here. This right here is we're going to give away a Meat Hunter rod. Charles Crook has donated a Meat Hunter rod to be given away. I want to thank him for that. There's a story. I'm going to just share this, and it's recorded in the book of Daniel. I want this to be an encouragement to you, because I know, man, we face so many things in our lives, so many difficulties. And there was 3 boys. I know y'all probably heard this story. Probably going to Sunday school, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. You heard about these guys. And they were forced by a king by the name of Nebuchadnezzar. He built this image and this idol, and for them to bow down to it and to worship the idol that they had done, that he had built. But they refused to do that. And this was something that popped out in my mind. They said, we're not going to bow down and worship that. And Nebuchadnezzar asked them this, and who is that God who shall deliver you out of my hand? Who is this God? And I want to share this because I serve a Lord and Savior by the name of Jesus, who is able to deliver. And sometimes we asked him so many times, Lord, deliver me from this, deliver me from that. But I've noticed my greatest testimonies that I've had is not the things that God delivered me from, but the things that he delivered me through. And I don't know about the 3 Hebrew boys, but if I'd have been put there, I'd have been praying, God, deliver me from this. Don't let this happen. But what greater testimony do we have than the things that we go through and God brings us out of them? And I'm still standing. And it was in the fire that they was in that God revealed himself to them. Is that not true for our lives? That is in our hardest times of our life, in our most difficult situations, it's there that God reveals himself, that he's still able to deliver. So if you found yourself in the fire, don't you give up. If you found yourself in difficulties, don't you give up, because God does his best work. When it looks like there's no way out, he always shows up. So don't you give up on him. Y'all continue to hold in there. And they says, who is it? He said, who is this God that shall deliver you? And he looked in the fire and he said, I see a 4th man walking in the fire. And his image appears to be the Son of God. God bless y'all. And I pray that God's blessings and God's strengthen you in these situations you face. Because I know life gets tough and life gets hard. And it reminds me of sometimes, man, being in there as a little kid. Every time you stand back up at the beach, the waves knock you back down. Get back up, knock you back down. But I'm telling you, whatever you do, if you get knocked down, don't stay down. Just continue to get back up. We serve a God who is able to deliver. May he strengthen you in the mighty name of Jesus. Let's give away this Meat Hunter rod here tonight. Give me just a second.
Stacy, let me add this to that, what you're saying just now also. Throughout my life, I found myself always, when I would pray, I always, now looking back, I always used to pray asking. Always would ask God, ask God for this, or ask God to help me with this. Try the next time you start praying to spend as equal time thanking as you do asking, praising. Or when you first get up in the bed, get up out of the bed in the morning. Before you roll over and hit your feet, just thank God for enabling you to roll out of the bed or get up. Because, I think the older I get, the more I find thinking there's a lot of people that can't roll out of the bed, So, like I said, used to, I don't know if it was, I would call it almost greed. Every time I pray, asking. So just try that when you do pray. For now on, spend as equal time thanking Him for what you do have, and thanking Him what He's going to do for you, instead of asking. And I think it'll make you a better person. I know it has me.
All right, here is the winner of the Meat Hunter rod. I'm fixing to pull it up here. You can contact me. Get me your address and stuff. We'll get this right here to Mr. Charles Crook. He's probably tuned in watching us. Meat Hunter rod. Mark Iskrig. I don't know how to, maybe I got that close anyway. So Mark,
yeah,
want to thank y'all so much for tuning in. Guys, I want to thank you for being a part of this program here this afternoon, watching us, staying tuned in with us. We'll probably be back after the first of the year. Merry Christmas to everyone. And don't you forget what we're celebrating this time of the year, what this season is all about. It's about celebrating a Savior, that God made a sacrifice to send here to earth, to go to the cross of Calvary, to die for our sins and to be resurrected for the remission of our sins, and for raised again for the justification of us. And God bless y'all. Y'all contact us, the ones that was the winners. Y'all have a great afternoon, and we will see y'all hopefully this week on the water, doing some live feeds and maybe pulling some big fish in. Joey, you got anything else?
I always, this time of year, I'm so excited, and I've been blessed. I'll have, good Lord willing, this time next year, I have my little baby granddaughter. Always, y'all, also when you're praying and thinking, think of the less fortunate, especially this year. There's a lot of people that's jobs is going to be done away with. A lot of people that's going to be hungry on Christmas. So always set aside a few minutes to ask a blessing for them, and something good. And if you can, help somebody, for sure. That's the best thing to me. The older I get, I find more joy in helping somebody or trying to do good for somebody that tries. And that's kind of all I have, Stacy, is
yes, sir.
Minutes to think of the less fortunate.
Yes, sir. God bless y'all, and we will see y'all later. Merry Christmas to you, and have a blessed New Year.
Merry Christmas.